Hello guys, and welcome back to another geography episode. Today we're going to continue looking at map work, and in today's lesson we're going to concentrate on coordinates, map codes and vertical exaggeration. But before we're going to continue with these exercises, keep in mind, for your second question paper, the map work paper, you're going to need your ruler, you're going to need the calculator to do the calculations, and you're going to need your protractor. Very important. But let's get straight to it. Our first topic that I'm going to discuss is coordinates. Believe it or not, coordinates we still use today. Now it's basically today the new technology that we use is GPS. So the coordinates that we use shows the exact location that we need to find. For instance, if you type in a set of coordinates, let's say for instance you need to go to a wedding, for example, and on the wedding invite they will usually write down the coordinates. And if you type in that coordinates into your GPS, it will take you to the exact location. Now first of all, when we look at coordinates, a set of two numbers that points to the exact position on the Earth's surface. Now coordinates consist of latitudes, line of latitudes. It's the horizontal lines. I want to add it over here. So horizontal lines. Obviously, many of you get confused between latitude and longitude. Now keep in mind, horizontal lines are these lines. Now if you struggle to remember horizontal and vertical, think of it, where does the sun comes up? On the horizon. And then a longitude that we use for coordinates is, it shows us the east and west position, and that's the vertical lines. Now people get confused between the two because this runs from north to south, but it's the latitude lines that runs from north to south, but horizontally, and the longitude lines is vertical lines, upward lines, moving east or moving west. Now coordinates are still very useful, like I've mentioned, we still use them today to find the exact place and landform. Now if you quickly look, just to identify on a 1 to 50,000 map, if we look at coordinates, we express it in degrees, minutes and seconds. I will explain it to you now. Now if you look over here, I'm going to use two different color pens and get this right the first time. Always start with lines of latitude. Here's your coordinates for your lines of latitude. It's the horizontal lines. As you can see, the 33 is degrees, 37 is minutes. Okay, and if you look at the lines of longitude, there you can see it's the vertical line. 18 degrees is the degrees, and there you can see the minutes is 47 minutes. But before I continue, I'm just going to explain to you South Africa's coordinates. Now if we look at the world map of South Africa, let's say I quickly just draw a world map. What separates the northern from the southern hemisphere? The equator. Okay. What separates the western from the eastern hemisphere? The Greenwich. Now very importantly, like I've mentioned just before on the previous slide and the slide above, your lines of latitude is the horizontal lines. And as you can see, this is latitude lines. And where they're moving to? Moving down south. And when we look at our lines of longitude, this is longitude, As you can see, that's the lines of longitude, and where they're moving to, they're moving from west or east. Very important. And as you can see, this is vertical lines, and the lines of latitude is horizontal. Now, very importantly, this is a tip that I can give you, because obviously once you're going to write your second question paper, your mapwork paper, you're going to get a map, a topographical map representing a town or city in South Africa. Now, if you look where South Africa is on the world map, we are south of the equator. This is where South Africa is. We are south of the equator, and we are east of the Greenwich. So, in theory, South Africa's latitude, SA's latitude, will always be south, and SA's longitude will always be east. Okay, why? Because if you look at it, we are south of the equator, we're moving down south, and we are east of the Greenwich. So our position will always be longitude east, latitude south, longitude east. Please remember this. Okay. Now, before I'm going to continue, let's just quickly elaborate on how it works. Coordinates. Now, we work in degrees, minutes, and seconds. So that's a symbol that we use for degrees. There's minutes and there's seconds. Okay. Now let's quickly have a look how we do coordinates. Now this is an extract from a map of Paul. Now I'm just going to fill in the latitude and longitude. Now what is the latitude? It's the horizontal lines. So let's say this is 33 degrees, 58 minutes. So this is the line of latitude. This is going to be 59 minutes. Let's quickly fill in our lines of longitude. There's our lines of longitude. It's our vertical lines. Let's say it's 19 degrees, 18 minutes. Now each grid represents a minute. So that's 58 minutes, 59 minutes. What's the next horizontal line going to represent? Be very careful, because remember, when we work in degrees, it works like hours. What's going to happen? We're going to go over, it's 58 minutes, 59 minutes. Do we get 60 minutes? No. Think of time. Let's say, for instance, it's 59 past 1. What happens if the minute goes over? We go to 2 o'clock. So in this case, we're moving over to 34 degrees, 0 minutes. Let's continue moving down. That is 2 minutes. Sorry, I apologize. 1 minute. One minute and 2 minutes. Okay, now let's just quickly fill in the longitudinal coordinates. That's 19 degrees, 18 minutes. That line over there is going to be 19 minutes, 20 minutes, 21, 22, 23, and there's 24 minutes. So we basically got our coordinates covered for each and every grid. Now the question is going to ask, provide the coordinates for spot height 121, 121. Now what did I say? We're going to start immediately first with our latitude. And latitude is moving down south. As you can see, it's the horizontal lines moving down south. So let's start with our latitude. Let's do the reading. It's going to be 33 degrees, there's 58. It's between 59 and 34 degrees, 59 minutes and 34 degrees. So I'm going to write it down. Let me write it on the map. It's going to be 33 degrees, 59 minutes. Okay, I'm just going to use a different color pen quickly. So what did we say? It's going to be 33 degrees. Where did I get the 33 from? Because there's the lines of latitude. 59 minutes, because it's between 59 minutes and 34 degrees. 59 minutes. Now we need to determine the seconds. And how are we going to do this? If we look at our seconds, I'm going to use the example down there because I still need to write it. If that's 1 minute and that's 2 minutes, and I divide this grid into right in the middle, how many seconds will that be? There's 1 minute and 2 minutes, so that's going to be 30 seconds. If I take the last quarter and I divide it up in 2, how many seconds is that going to be? 45 seconds. If I take my first quarter and I divide it up in 2, how many seconds? 15 seconds. Now let's go and have a look where spot height 121 is. We already established as 33 degree latitude, 59 minutes. If we take this grid and we divide it up in half, that's 30 seconds. Do you agree with me that that's going to be roughly 28 seconds? And where we're moving to, lines of latitude, so horizontal lines moving down south. Now let's go and have a look at our next coordinate that we need to write down. The longitude is 19 degrees. "18 minutes is over there, 19 over there, 20 over there, 21, 22, 23, 24. So it's between 23 minutes and 24 minutes. So it's 23 minutes. And if we divide this block grid into 2, where the spot height is probably 31 seconds east. So the correct coordinates for spot height 121 is going to be 33 degrees, 59 minutes, 28 to 30 seconds south, and the longitudinal position is going to be 19 degrees, 18 minutes, no, 19 degrees, 23 minutes, 31 seconds east. Let's just quickly do another one for the sake of it. This should be fun because it's quite nice and interesting to find the correct location. So let's go and have a look at another one quickly. Let's say, for instance, we need to provide the coordinates for Trick Beacon 227. Now, first of all, what do we need to do? First, we find the latitude. Now, what's the latitude? It's 33 degrees, 58 minutes, 59 minutes. Then we're moving over to 34. 34 and 1 degree. Do you agree? Because it's between 34 degrees and 1 minute. I apologize. So it's 34. It's between 1 and 2 minutes. 1 minute. Now how many seconds? If we divide this grid up in 2, that's 30 seconds. That's 15 seconds. So I'm reckon it's probably going to be 10 seconds. And where is this lines of latitude going? They're moving down south. Now let's quickly go and have a look at the longitudinal position. It's 19 degrees, This is 19 degrees, 19 degrees 18, 19 minutes, 20 minutes, 21. Let's go down. No, another one on. 22 minutes. Just check. So we've got the minutes, it's 90 degrees, 22 minutes. If we take our grid and we divide it up in half, there again 15, so I'm going to say roughly 14 seconds east. And that's how you will be able to find your correct coordinates. Now let's just quickly go and have a look at the map over here. Now as you can see, the pole map, there's over here is your line of latitude, is 33 degrees 37 minutes. There's going to be 38 minutes, 39 minutes, and there's 40 minutes. I actually indicated it to you on the map. And as we move down, it's going to 41 and 42. Now, let's just look at the lines of longitude. 18 degrees, 47 minutes. 48 minutes. 49 minutes. And there they're showing you 50 minutes. Right over there. So, what you need to do, let's say for instance you need to find the coordinates of 3 of the list situated in this grid over here. Just quickly out of our head, it's going to be 33 degrees, 38 minutes, roughly 45 seconds. And where we're moving down south. The longitude is going to be 18 degrees, 48 minutes, roughly 30 seconds east, because look at the minutes, it's moving in an easterly direction. The latitude is moving in the south direction, and your longitude is moving in an east direction. Okay, stay tuned, and after the break we're going to continue with some more map work exercises.